This was a pivotal day in the YNW Melly retrial case since it was announced that a court had announced that Melly's ex-girlfriend, Maria Hamilton, had been released from the Paul Reed Detention Facility as of Saturday, February 8. Friday's emergency hearing for Maria's release was the first time Melly and Maria had seen in person since he turned himself into the Broward Sheriff's Office in February. As of YNW 2019, Melly was seen bringing Maria into the courtroom for the first time in 6 years. Melly was grinning widely and avoiding too much eye contact, but courtroom sources claimed that she began to cry a little. It's not beneficial for YNW Melly. In her Facebook post upon her release from prison, Hamilton acknowledged her family and friends who supported her while she was incarcerated, writing, "Thank you, my village on Sunday. You all have my undying love." The local news reported this in a way that she apparently didn't like, therefore it was God's design, not mine.
Maya Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
Understanding the realities of incarceration, Maria doesn't want to go back because the feds already know what happened to Sasser and Juvie. But they need her to give her word in order to convince the jury at the next trial. The arrangement was for she agreed to the disclosure of the information the federal authorities had in her iCloud account, where they found suspicious activity related to YNW Melly pressuring her to testify against her in order to get her out of jail. Melly's refusal to testify during the trial led to her being found guilty of witness tampering, which carries a life sentence in Ricin, regardless of whether she actually removed Chaser and Juvie.
Filing 6 new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
The FBI began investigating Maria's interactions with residents of YNW Melly's community due to numerous discussions and speculations about. Maria's assistants allowed them to acquire everything, but YNW JV's father also worked with them on his own study and has a lot of connections over the area until he finally found the real concrete proof, including the code words Melly used to convince Maria not to testify.
This kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person and then that person.
Saying like to me, they going through extreme measures, trying to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna and...
For witness tampering alone, Melly would be sentenced to life in prison if found guilty, but matters worsened because YNW Melly and the court weren't pleased with this. His demeanor would quickly change as the judge started talking about his release from custody, even though he would arrive in court looking quite irate and without a haircut, reacting with his true thoughts. Melly and Maria are both in prison. Melly must choose who will represent him, as was disclosed. He's been incarcerated here for 2,159 days.
Let me repeat myself. Mr. Demons has to make an informed decision about who he wants as lawyers. He's now been sitting in our jail for 2,159 days. So, how long would you like to be able to make that decision?
I can't determine when the investigation will be over. That's up to the Broward Sheriff's Office, but I can, as I said, I'm just asking for a week, and then I'm asking for at least a day or 2.
You will decide by tomorrow. I've also reserved a call tomorrow.
The judge ordered that the prosecutors provide an explanation for Melly's lengthy incarceration without conviction since he was so astonished by this. By tomorrow, they must not be free, or I will release them on bail. After that, they will present the evidence that Melly tampered with witnesses, which explains why YNW Melly received this punishment. During his incarceration, Melly has not been allowed to check his own mail or use a phone, according to Melly's mother, who made this assertion in an interview.
Not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to just to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
This led to the filing of a massive lawsuit to free YNW Melly, but they would eventually share the witness tampering evidence because according to Jamie King, Melly is not allowed to use cell phones inside of jails since he was using them to commit serious crimes. She conveys her profound sadness for her son, who isn't even getting compassionate treatment throughout the interview.
Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life. As a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
Nevertheless, things worsened after the federal government visited YNW Borland's home and found further evidence that contained a bag with a sheet of paper signed by YNW Borland that listed each juror from Melly's first trial and gave a synopsis of these images, as previously disclosed, are of alleged notes discovered after YNW Borland's home was demolished.
Co-defendant YNW Borland was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law and Crime Network states as follows. On or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Bortland, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Dimmons, aka YNW Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Borland allegedly tampered with the witness.
Who's to say Borland wouldn't go out and get revenge if these jurors awarded him a sentence? This clearly violates the law. During the first trial, even a DJ scholar said that Melly will be sentenced to life in prison.
This is sloppy. Borland, how the f you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house? Holy sh! Like, come to God! It's like doing a and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro! Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. Like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
Eventually, Moy would tell Melly that they were doing whatever they wanted to him, whether it was legal or not, and he would even get caught up in the chaos. Had anything to do with it, they will take the blame for YNW Melly's more than 2,159-day jail stay.
I knew they wanted him bad when they waited for that law to get passed.
Yeah, he was in jail for what, 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah, they could have been took him to trial.
You're right.
They waited till that law got passed and took him to trial a couple months later. Just don't see how he didn't get a bond after a mistrial.
Yeah.
That made me like, God damn.
Yeah.
This is what YNW, even Charleston White, would say, sending social media and the entire rap industry into a frenzy. Being a famous rapper, Melly ought to be treated like a prisoner and not given any preferential treatment. Would you kindly like the video if you agree?
The YNW Melly. I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated, homie. Homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a motherfucking thing about being mistreated. When you done chose to play somebody.
But his own lawyers would use this information from the first trial, where they disclosed that Melly had texted his ex-girlfriend as counter-evidence to help Melly get his release. When Maria was spotted fleeing from the males on the street with GPS evidence following them into a bus, the crime was being investigated in real time.
Saying that someone just shut the car up and was trying to shoot them. So I asked him if he was okay, where he was, and he's like, there's a car coming behind him, like hiding. He was like, there's some, there's some, I think they're still out here or something. So I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I'm okay. I said, well, where are Sack and Juvie? And he said, I don't know if they're in the car. I think they're...
The prosecutors had to sit up and tell the jury that Melly was being pursued by a car carrying competing street people, as the GPS evidence indicates. As YNW Melly explained, there was never even a firearm discovered, which increases the possibility that it was a real drive-by. Interviewed 1036/1050. Unfortunately, though, as the retrial took more than a year to begin.
The first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which firearm I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what firearm was used.
Okay.
This would not be nearly enough to get Melly out of confinement. After continuing their investigation, the prosecutors eventually assembled a fresh set of evidence to make sure Melly was never released on bond. If it succeeded, they would divulge. At the courtroom where a member of the Raw Gold Block disclosed the secret Melly had shared with King Va when she sought his counsel on how to handle a scenario in which your two greatest friends are vying for your money. Just before V's untimely death, the late King Va and Melly had a strong relationship prior to his incarceration.
Did Vaughn really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people can say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Vaughn was mad at me, bro. Why you put that, bro? What the bam? I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around them?
YNW has a reputation as a business LLC in addition to being a street team. In exchange for money that was deposited into the YNW bank account, Melly and Borland performed local concerts, sold items, and advertised businesses. 25% was then divided among the 4 Sack Chaser members: Moreland, Melly, Juvie, and Juvie. Melly and Borland were upset that Sack Chaser and Juvie insisted on getting a share of the money despite the fact that they did not work hard to acquire it. If you are aware of King Von's handling of his particular situation, combining this information with everything that was discovered on Melly's phone, you can probably imagine what Counsel V would have offered by YNW Melly. This is where things go horribly wrong because he essentially admitted to the crime in a text message he sent hours after it happened.
The PC Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, I did that, and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly account says what?
After that, SHHHH.
But also found on Melly's phone a saved video from someone's Facebook Live, which depicts Melly and 6 hours after the crime was done. Moreland's response was to dance in a parking lot and give each other a quick kiss.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! But no, still turned. Regardless of what happened, you already know.
Showing not even an ounce of sadness for the...
Knowing how Melly dealt with the loss of their 2 best friends, the lead prosecutor wanted to delve further into the tangible proof of the crime, but he showed no sadness at all. Sergeant Williams stated at the initial trial that the Jeep they were driving in could not have been a drive-by, and that the person who did the crime had to have been seated in the back left seat.
How many rounds were inside the car?
3. From the The driver's side back seat.
As to not think it was Christopher Thomas. Where did that name from?
Driver's side back seat.
No.
My determination was that this is not a drive-by. She was at a stationary position when all but one of these rounds are going in. The one round that has some movement in it, which is round site L here, the actually moving in that.
Following Williams' revelation that the crime must have occurred within the vehicle, W. Juvie's mother, shared by the person on the back left seat of the stand. Interview 15-6 to end.